All right, we are recording. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Mark Fuller. This is TeamAlliance. And today I have another educational video for you guys. Those of you coming from traditional Forex, those of you who are already familiar with the markets and different terminology that is used in the industry overall. I did make a video, I think it was a couple of videos ago, talking about, whether or not trends are relevant to binaries. And that actually led me to think more on trends, because I think that one of the reasons people like to ask questions about specific things that pertain to the Forex market is because they want to know if they can apply the same understanding that they already have of Forex to binaries. And the answer to that is no. And I'm going to elaborate. So this question is another question that has been asked pretty frequently. Is it possible to profit from trends consistently in the market? That's an excellent question, because it helps to, or I should say the answer is going to help you to further understand why trends and things that you might be already familiar with as far as the investing world don't necessarily pertain to when you're dealing with binary options, specifically the binary options that we trade on the NADEX exchange. Okay. Now, you've heard me mention NADEX many times, of course, because that's the platform that we're using. And NADEX is a very powerful platform because it is an exchange. So it means that you're not trading against an entity. You're not trading against the broker. It's not a broker. It's an exchange where you trade against other people who are also trading. And because it's binaries, you're going to either be right or you're going to be wrong about the trade that you have selected to participate in, to put your money in. Binaries are simple. They're clear cut. You're either correct about where the market is going to end when the binary expires, or you're not correct. If you're correct, you win. If you're not correct, you lose. And the amount that you win or lose is determined by the amount that you actually put at risk on that particular trade. Okay? Now, what does this have to do with trends? And I'm going to make the connection now. Trends are when the market persists in one direction or the other. The market is either moving up or it's moving down, but it's also confined to time. So it moves across as well. It moves lateral. All right. And because time is involved in the market, if it is moving across while it's either moving up or down, that means it can zigzag. It can move up, down for extended periods of time. And then there are times where the price movement will persist in one direction or the other, meaning that it'll be moving primarily in one direction and creating new highs or new lows. But at the same time, it'll be zigzagging in between along the way. So trends are defined as consistent or persistent directional moves by the market, where it'll persist on moving in one direction for an extended period of time. And what people do is they want to follow the trend because they feel that, well, if the market is moving in one direction, that's where the volume and the momentum and the bias is in the market. So I don't want to trade against that. You see? So this idea will confuse you when you're dealing with binaries, because you're going to apply the same idea to binaries, because with binaries, you have to be correct about where the price is going to end, either above or below. So there, people are associating above and below with up and down movement. Okay. But when you're dealing with binaries, you also have to include timing. Timing is the key to winning. Okay. If your timing is off, you'll lose your trades, even if you're right about the direction of the market. So this is why the question being, is it possible to profit from trends consistently? The answer to that is no, because you're not profiting from a trend when you're dealing with binaries. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to rephrase that question. Is it possible to profit from trends consistently with binaries? That's the question. With binaries. So I'm actually going to make sure that I rephrase that. With binaries. Make sure that I put that as the title for this video. So is it possible to profit from trends consistently with binaries? The answer is no. No. And it's for the reason that I just gave, because it's not just about trend direction when you're dealing with binaries. Yes, you have to be correct about where the price ends, but more of what plays a part in that process is the behavior of the market versus whether the market is trending or not. Because the market could be in an uptrend, just to put it, in perspective. Let's say the market is trending up. Well, within what time frame are you looking at the market trending up? If you're looking at a long-term chart, an hourly chart or a 4-hour chart, and the market is in an uptrend, and then when you get on the binaries, you're basing your decision off of the fact that you only want to take trades that are a buy because the market is trending higher on a larger time frame. And a lot of people will look at larger time frames to determine the direction that they want to remain in. If you're, like I said, if you're coming from a Forex background, you understand what I'm talking about. People will use higher time frames, and then they'll go and drill down to the lower time frame, like a 1-minute chart or a tick chart, to try to fine tune their entry into the larger trend, the longer term, higher time frame trend direction. So they'll look at the 1-minute chart, and they'll look to see when the price movement cycles back into the same direction as the dominant trend on the high time frame. Okay. And in Forex, it works to some degree. And even then, you still have to be, clear with what the actual movement in the market is before you take your trade, because again, it is about timing. It's just like deciding, well, the market is reversing, or it's going to move in the other direction. Okay, but the question is, how are you going to profit off of that? How are you going to profit off of knowing that the market is going to reverse? Okay, cool. How long is it going to move in the opposite direction for? How many pips is it going to move for? Where is it headed? What's your profit target? What's your stop loss? All of these things, I'm so glad that I'm not dealing with Forex anymore along those lines, because these are things that you have to research and you have to figure out, and you have to try to create strategies around, and it's just so much that goes into trying to figure it out. Most of your time is consumed by trying to figure it out and not trading. You're spending most of your time trying to figure things out. So fortunately for us, we have the NADEX platform, and we're able to trade these instruments called binaries, where it's a simple yes or no decision. Is the market going to end above this line or below this line? Period. That's it. So now we have to just figure out what the behavior of the market is, so that we can determine whether or not the market is more likely to move into position above or below, or remain in position above or below. And that's why we do study of the market's behavior. We interpret that information and we apply that specifically to the binaries, which is a yes or no decision. So by the time we end up taking a trade, the probability of us winning is so high that we win the trade. And this is how we flip it around. I've been able to reverse engineer my own personal process and teach that to others. So that's what the TeamAlliance training is based off of. It's based off the way that I'm actually trading. And I had to reverse engineer the process so that I can explain it and communicate that information to everyone that I'm teaching. And it's very powerful because now what I'm doing is being duplicated by my students. And it's a very powerful thing. So anyway, yeah, I think that that's a very good question. And hopefully that was a sufficient answer, especially for those of you with the Forex background. That should help you to kind of have a better understanding of what it is that binaries are more so about. It's not what you're thinking that it is. If you're coming from the Forex world, you got to unlearn a lot of the things that you're already, have been indoctrinated into. Trends. You got to unlearn trends. None of that is relevant when it comes to binaries. It's just not. So, take it in stride and get into training with us so that you can see what it is that we do. And you'll see for yourself that there's a lot of value in the education that I'm giving through these videos. There's a lot of value in the training that we're providing on TeamAlliance. And those of you that want to learn the skill so that you can apply it for yourself, position yourself to create your own paycheck every day. This is what it's all about. You actually have an opportunity to do that now. So anyway, reach out to me. You can send me a text message at 914-979-2317. The link for the education series you'll see underneath this video in the description box. You'll also see the link for signing up for training with us. You can also reach out to me directly on Facebook. That's the fastest way to reach me. Send me a friend request. Let me know that you want to get into training with us, and I'll get you all set up. And aside from that, I hope you guys are enjoying, the educational content that I'm putting out. I'm hoping that it's valuable for you and you're able to benefit from it. And like I say, I've been saying this repeatedly over the last few videos. When you watch the education series, it's like a training. You're training yourself before you even get into training with us. So take advantage of it and just familiarize yourself with the things that are relevant and are not relevant when it comes to trading binaries specifically, which is what we trade on the NADEX platform. All right. So Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. I will talk to you guys soon. Some of you I'll see in training soon. Everyone else, if you have an Ask Mark Anything question, feel free to leave a reply underneath the video. I'll be more than glad to answer that for you in a video. All right. And we'll just keep it pushing like that. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. Deuces. Peace.